Matthew's a loner. His team man abandoned you this afternoon. Matthew, congratulations. Oh, Batman, I should have. Anybody recognise him? He stays in uniform day in, day out, and that's probably where your votes came from, Matthew. It gives me great pleasure, along with Jack, to present this outright win. It's the most simplest trophy we have for the most important award we have, and you've got it for a lifetime.
One morning in 2019 on the Bash, you might remember we visited a school in Queensland, not in Queensland on the Gulf of Carpentaria. And while most of you were having breakfast, I was in character as Batman, and I noticed 6 students wandering among the Bash cars just admiring these incredible temperamental machines. And I went over and introduced myself as Batman and gave them the obligatory bat stickers and invited them over to the nearby fence where they could admire the helicopter, the Batcopter, which had recently landed there. And as we're looking at the Batcopter, I asked the children, what do you want to be when you grow up? This young girl, Indigenous girl in the front row, immediately thrust up her hand and said, when I grow up, I want to be a pilot of a Batcopter just like that. Now, straight away, there was a mocking laugh from the taller Indigenous boy in the background. He said, you will never be a pilot when you grow up. This young girl just turned and looked up at him defiantly and said, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know how to read yet. And then she turned around and looked at me and rolled her eyes and said, don't pay any attention to him, that's my older brother. I suggested there's someone very important we need to go and meet. So we went through the crowd, and if you were having breakfast there, as Stuart was making his morning announcements, there was Batman with these 6 children following him like the Pied Piper, looking through this crowd. Eventually I found exactly who I wanted to introduce them to, and I tapped this person on the shoulder and I said to this young girl, I said, let me introduce you to Susan Dibley. She flew the Batcopter in here this morning. And this little girl, she just burst with excitement and said, do you mean the Batcopter is flown by a girl? And that's when I realised I left them to have their important conversation. And to me, that's what the Bash is all about, is these beautiful, young, spirited children in these outback towns, helping them have their dreams come true. Whether it's through a connection like that or through the generous donations of so many incredible people I meet on these bashes, I realise that this is what Variety is, such a special charity, to make these children have the opportunities, the resources and the tools they need to make their dreams come true. So for that, we thank you. I would like to thank Tony Harton, who owns Refuelling Solutions, mini tankers, maxi tankers. He pays for the Batmobile. He and his brother built it, what was it, 12 years ago. The first Batmobile was an old Holden, and then it was slightly upgraded to this 56-year-old Dodge Phoenix, which is still going. And to all our sponsors on that. But to the Bashers here, what a privilege to be part of this event. And for this, this was voted by yourselves, so a most humble and grateful thank you. And thank you for being able to help these children. Thank you.